Hello everyone, Douglas Waltz, Old Man Comic Book Reviews. We were going to shoot this in the dining room where I like the light better, but this lamp over here is messed up, and we're in here because I literally forgot to plug in the camera. So we're shooting from live cord to the camera. And we got a stack to go through. We'll just start right off at the top. We got Doctor Strange, number 8. Writer is Jed MacKay. Pascal Ferry is our artist. And when last we left, our Doctor Strange was dead again for a minute. And General Strange, who's been fighting a war for 5,000 years for the Vishanti, has taken away Clea. And Clea's not too happy about it. This is a great comic book. I love the artwork in this comic book. I love the story that's going on with this. The idea about he's literally fighting himself. He's just himself from a different time period is just kind of fascinating. And then he decides to go talk to monsters that will give him power to defeat General Strange. Good book. There you go. Number 9 of Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck. Amanda Dibert is the script writer. It says script, that's why I said it. Carla Laura is the art. And we are still looking for Launchpad's compass. It's still missing. So Darkwing Duck is on his way to find it and accidentally catches a guy breaking into his own house because he forgot his keys, and he's looking for helpers. And yep, it's fun. It's a little chopped up episode. This would be like a whole half-hour episode, but it would be the entire storyline. All right, Birds of Prey number 2. All right, and DC gives me tiny, in white letters. Written by Kelly Thompson, art by Leonardo Romero. So we're saving Black Canary's sister, so we get a little back on that. And then Harley says that she has a plan to get them to Themyscira to save Black Canary's sister. John Constantine shows up for a hot minute. People have to go into another dimension to fight stuff. There's awesome artwork. And because DC uses a matte finish, not newsprint, but not glossy, and their artist for this, it makes me feel like I'm reading Golden Age DC Comics. It literally has a little bit of a Ditko feel to it, not being blasphemous in any way, shape, or form, but it feels like Ditko. The way it works, and the fighting, and the noises when they fight, the action sequences, people's faces, it reminds me of Steve Ditko. Whether on purpose or just this guy's art style is similar. So this is a fun book. I didn't think I was going to like it because I felt like they shoehorned Harley Quinn in. And there's that other one, Zealot, that I don't know who that is. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle 2. We all bought it for this cover. Admit it. This was it. How you go swinging through the trees in this thing? You know? One good hook on the branch and goes from PG to PG-13. Written by Wes Clark Jr. and Stephen E. D'Souza. Art by Adriana Silva. And something is up in the jungle. People are not supposed to be there. Sheena has to save the day, but still be back in time for her final exams. That's why it's called Fatal Exams. It crossed out final and wrote Fatal. It's got all of her little animal friends in it. It's great. It's the artwork. I don't know. I think especially this where she's on the horse, I'm getting a Barbie vibe here, which is not Sheena at all. But, but yeah, good stuff. I always like a good jungle comic book of some sort. This is the annual for Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider versus the Hoods, Infernal Halloween. Benjamin Percy is our writer. Danny Kim is our artist. And the Red Hood's back. He's here to get a book called Hallow Gospels to make a giant winged pumpkin-headed Halloween monster. And Elsa Bloodstone shows up because she needs help with Johnny and his new friend. And they have to go fight the bad guys. And it's a Halloween book. This is literally, it drips Halloween. It's awesome. this was a lot of fun. Good old-fashioned Ghost Rider Halloween story that kind of has a little bit about what's going on in the main storyline, but not really to get in the way of all the fun of the giant Halloween monster. This was a hoot. I had a good time with this. Plus, anytime Elsa Bloodstone shows up is a good time. Godzilla #4. Here There Be Dragons. Look at that pretty cover. Isn't that neat? It's written by Frank Thierry. Artwork is by Inaki Miranda. We still have the pirate guy telling us about the temple to Godzilla and all these things. But we all know why we're here. We are here for the pages and pages of Godzilla versus Ebirah, the giant lobster fella. And they beat the crap out of each other until a giant octopus shows up. So, this is a lot of fun. No mention of the Smog monster this time, so I don't have to pick on him. But, yep, this was a lot of fun. We get one more book. So, wait for the trade paperback if you're thinking about it. We're finishing part 3 of Solve for X. Strange Academy teams up with someone. In this particular instance, they finish off the series of 3 with Spider-Man. And Carlos Hernandez is our writer. Vasco Georgiev is our artist. And when last we left, Doyle, Shaley, Gus, German, Jaman, and Toth. They were being possessed by the mathematician fella. It's interesting for me that they're using enchantmatics. So it's math, but it's magic. And Spidey gets involved because this is that timeline where Doctor Strange died. He got better, of course. We're on issue 8 of Doctor Strange. But Spidey didn't know that. The interesting thing is there's a lot of math and things in here. Like, for example, they discuss phenomenological constant, which is someone else knowing your ontological constant, which means they know the mathematic equation that is you. And if they know it, they can create you again and again. If you die, they'll just repeat your constant and you're back like nothing ever happened. It's a really weird thing. It's enchantmatics. It's magic math. So they finally wrap everything up. They find out that Doctor Strange isn't dead. We get everybody back, and it was a successful math field trip overall. Nobody died. So this was a lot of fun. I like Strange Academy, and the math will make your head hurt. Seriously, I read that a couple of times. Here we go. We are on the dawn of DC's Blue Beetle #2. As I mentioned in the first issue, there's a lot of stuff that seems like it's already gone on that I don't know about. Once again, Ted Kord is somebody's whipping boy. He's not dead yet, though. Josh Trujillo is our writer. Excuse me. Adrian Gutierrez is our artist. And there is some weird bad guy here to get all the other Blue Beetle-ish good guys as powers and stuff. And Blue Beetle shows up, and I'm hoping it'll get in its groove. It was nice to see the Justice League that have Fire and Ice and Booster Gold and Guy Gardner in it. That made me happy. Having Ted Kord always makes me happy. But yeah, this guy beat up Ted Kord, and Ted's fine so far, but I don't know what's going on. I'm completely lost. Alright. And then we get to the disappointment of the day, folks. The final issue number 4 of Silent Night, Deadly Night. And written by S.A. Check and James Korick. Art by Puis Calzada. So Ira's toy store when we last left was on fire. There's people that are dead everywhere. Billy's still on the loose. One of the kids at the orphanage is turned into a little gremlin-like monster. And then Billy turns into Krampus? See, okay. Silent Night, Deadly Night is based on the movie Silent Night, Deadly Night. There's a series of them, but we're going to worry about just the first one. The first one is Billy sees his parents get killed by a guy dressed like Santa Claus, scars him for life. He goes berserk and he gets Santa Claus suit on and goes around killing people, punishing the naughty, and giving gifts to the good kids. That only happens once in the movie, and it was a box cutter. So, but this, and spoilers, if you don't want to hear them, I don't know, stick your fingers in your ears, they're saying that Ira's toy store, Ira had been grooming Billy to receive Krampus this whole time. So they took something that is just in reality. The Silent Night, Deadly Night movies are just reality with a lot of psychosis going on. There's crazy people in the movie Silent Night, Deadly Night. Same with the other ones. But this one is trying to say that there's some, I don't know what you call it, it's Krampus. It's got the horn. It looks like Billy turned into Krampus. And and Ira was the one that was all doing it this whole time undercover. And it's stupid. The ending of this is stupid. Like the last, I don't know, half. Art's still good. Story was a great idea to make it. I'm not sure why they did anything supernatural in a slasher comic book. It doesn't fit. So it doesn't fit for me anyways. Not for this kind of slasher movie. So unfortunately this ended on a note for me, which, it's never a good time when your comic book that you're really excited about is coming out and you get to find out that they fumbled at the finish line or whatever you call it. Fumbled at the goal? I don't know how this works. I don't sport. So I read comic books. So Sophie, Fiona, we have not seen you for a couple weeks. We're going to do something next weekend just for like a little bit. And then you're going to come over the last weekend of October. We'll get pumpkins. We'll carve pumpkins. We'll go trick or treat. We'll go to these places that let you dress up and have fun. It'll be a hoot. In the meantime, as I tell all of you to go out and get yourself some comic books. I mentioned you can get them online. You can get them at the library. You can go to a comic book store near you. Ours is Fanfare in their new place. Still on Westnedge, across the street basically. But it's still their new place. Lots more stuff, lots more room. It's a good time. So I encourage anyone to find their local comic book store and get some comic books, read comic books online. We'll do the little divvy it up. I'm counting Darkwing Duck as a superhero comic book, by the way. So, because who's to tell me it ain't? All right. But I'm not counting Godzilla. So in this case, we only have 3 non-superhero books and 6 superhero books, because I am counting Birds of Prey as superheroes. I'm counting Ghost Rider. I'm counting Darkwing Duck. These are all superhero comic books. So superheroes won this week. We'll find out what happens next week. I don't think there's as many books. I seem to remember looking, and there's only like 5 or 6. But then Martha takes a look at them, and she comes up with like 75 comic books. So until next time, I'll see you. Go read a comic book.